Hello guys, what's up? It's Katie back here with another OnlyFans video / podcast episode, I guess you can call it. I'm really excited for today's video because I feel like it's something that can really change a creator's perspective when it comes to making content. But before we get started, I do want to mention I have a coaching page. It's on Fansly. I'll link it below. Here in this picture, you'll see all my socials listed. If you're interested in following me, checking out any of my profiles, my credibility, etc., check that out. I'm a top creator. I've been doing this since 2020. And let's get into the video. So, the theme of today's video is what happens when you stop forcing content and start promoting as yourself. Nobody talks about what actually changes in your income when you stop trying to be sexy 24/7 and start just trying to be yourself. The biggest income jumps I've had came after I stopped forcing content and just enjoyed myself. Today, I want to explain what starts to change in your work, your results, and your mindset when you promote authentically. So let's just first go ahead and talk about why I think creators feel pressure to be over sexual when it comes to promoting. I feel like a lot of creators think that if they show more skin, that'll mean more money. And me, myself included, and still I catch myself sometimes thinking this. I'm so guilty of this mindset that showing more skin might somehow make me more money. But being competitive and competing with the most explicit girls isn't by showing more skin. It's actually by using a strategy and by using your personality to outshine your appearance. It should be a mix of like your appearance, your personality, your hobbies, etc. It shouldn't be one category that you focus on extra. It shouldn't be all personality. It shouldn't be all looks. It shouldn't be all hobbies. It should be a mix of both. I feel like a lot of creators think that if they're not sexual, it won't convert. And that's actually far from the truth. Social media itself rewards people who are authentic, humble, show their hobbies, have a niche. When you're comparing yourself to girls who show all skin, the reels that you're seeing that blow up, the thirst traps, are the ones that blow up. I feel like a lot of creators don't understand just how many other creators, do thirst traps where they fail or they don't go viral. What you're seeing on your For You page or whatnot are the few creators where a thirst trap gets pushed. And let me tell you, when someone sees a thirst trap, they might stop and look and think, wow, she's really pretty. But are they going to remember you after viewing that? Are they going to remember that, oh, she's pretty with blonde hair? Are they more likely to remember you like that and then go to your profile and follow you? Or are they more likely to remember you when you're doing pottery? Are they more likely to remember you when you're outdoors fishing or you're hunting or you're a mechanic or you're a girl with, a hidden talent, something like that? They're more likely to follow you when you showcase yourself. Now, I'm not saying you can't be sexy and hot doing what you do, but it needs to be a mix of both. Platforms don't actually reward explicit content. They reward connection, and how you do connection can be in many forms. People don't subscribe because you're naked. They subscribe because they feel connected. So let's talk about the changes that I personally experienced and that a lot of creators experience when you start being yourself versus prioritizing just look. So your content gets easier to create. You stop scripting every move because you're doing what you actually love and what you actually do in a day. It's not uncomfortable. It's not scripted. It's not thought of in advance. It's just you. You stop copying from other creators and filming becomes faster. Ideas flow so much more natural because you're just being yourself. There's way less editing and less stress. As a result, you'll have higher consistency because it won't be as dreadful to create. It'll be enjoyable. And you'll have more volume without burning out. Another thing is your energy on camera improves. You're more relaxed instead of trying to perform and then you're more natural with your expressions. More genuine smiles and a better presence feels more connecting to a viewer than overrated, scripted, over-trying thirst traps. Viewers can subconsciously feel tension when you don't feel comfortable. Authentic energy converts better than forced sexual appeal. The key line is that confidence is way more attractive than posing. Your audience changes in a good way when you start being yourself. You attract higher quality subscribers, people who are actually into you, actually into the things that you do. You have more loyal fans, people who stay longer, and more renew on behavior, which is retention for your page. When they like you and not just your body, there's higher renew rates, you get more tips, more engagement, and there's less churn. This ties beautifully into your renew on systems because you want people to subscribe, but what you really, really want is you want them to stay. So let's just go ahead and talk about how this impacts your income long term. I know when I first started OF, I started being myself, but then I quickly fell into the trap of doing only thirst traps. My highest month back then, when I was only doing thirst traps, was $14,000, which is, don't get me wrong, like amazing. That is more than enough to live off of. But my highest month now, between all platforms, while being myself, being funny, being, giving perspective, personality, my highest month now is $140,000. Now that's everything combined. That's Fansly, Snapchat, all my OnlyFans pages. That's not just one page, but it's all geared by the marketing that I do. Short-term explicit, they may spike PPV sales, but long-term authenticity builds stable renew basis, strong brand. It's easier to upsell, and there's higher leverage and higher spending per fan. Fans who connect emotionally often buy more. They stay subscribed longer. They respond to messages more, and they refer friends to you. Key line here is that sustainability beats spikes every single time. Let's talk about what happens mentally when you stop forcing yourself to be over-sexual. Points here. So let's say you're trying really, really hard to be sexy, and it's just not you. For example, my daily life consists of leggings and t-shirts, sweatpants and t-shirts. Now, will I occasionally throw on a lingerie outfit for my OnlyFans? Of course I will. But am I gonna be across all of my feed, wearing high heels and crop tops and, no, I'm not, because authentically that is not me. That is not what I dress up in day to day. That is not even what I dress up in when I have like a wedding or something. I am super casual, simple, and just comfort. I prioritize comfort. And so I make sure that my fans and the people who follow me know that. I don't try to put on like a facade or put on that I'm like this super proper girly girl. I'm a tomboy at heart. I love the outdoors. I'm a country girl. And so I always make sure that they know that when they click on my profile, that that's the type of girl that they're getting. When you stop forcing yourself to be sexual, you have way less anxiety before filming. You have less imposter syndrome. You compare yourself less, you have way more enjoyment, and you stop dreading content. When your work feels aligned with your life and your lifestyle, you promote more naturally, you avoid burnout, and you stay consistent longer. It's not as hard to stay consistent when you're living your day-to-day life and capturing the moments versus scripting the moments. Your recent burnout feelings can be coming from not being authentic or trying so hard to be yourself but not getting results. Even if you're being yourself and you're not getting the results currently that you want, it's going to be so much more frustrating when you're doing content that you actually enjoy. Because when you do content that you enjoy, the outcome, the result of making money from it is just a bonus. You do the content because you enjoy it. You want to make a living, but the living comes from doing the content that you enjoy. Work directly affects your results, so make sure you enjoy your work and don't dread it. I want to debunk the myth that you have to be over-sexual to succeed. Some of the highest creators Sophie Rain as an example, don't even have nudity on their page. Some of them don't even sell nudity in their inbox. Some of the highest earners are those who give off soft energy. They give the girlfriend experience, their lifestyle, they give talking content, and it's totally personality driven. Sexual content is a tool. It's not an identity. You are yourself. You are the identity. You choose how explicit you can be, or you choose how explicit you want to be based off of your comfort, your brand, your longevity, and your mental health, not because you feel forced. The key line here is you don't need to be the most explicit, you need to be the most memorable. There is a difference. I get when you're trying hard to make money, even when you try to be yourself, you still have in the back of the mind what, I must do to get the views. And I know even becoming natural doesn't feel natural at some point because of overthinking. So let's talk about how to shift into authentic promotion. A couple practical tips. So how you film actually matters. Talk like you talk. Don't be, overly over energy. Don't be under energy. Just talk and be yourself how you would actually have a conversation with your friend. Smile naturally. Do not force the smile. Do not overpose. Make sure everything is soft, warm, cozy, and relatable. Don't over edit. Of course you can edit, but don't make it look like, how to put this nicely? Don't make it look like the cover of a magazine, Make it look like they're just hanging out with a girl, that they're just getting that girlfriend experience. Examples for me personally are cozy vibes, country music, gym life, family life, wedding prep, lifestyle, which if you guys didn't know, I'm getting married in 5 months, and soft and sexy. I'm not like the dominant sexy. I am the soft and sexy. Yes, I am a tomboy, and that might be sexy, but in my intimate moments, I'm the soft, submissive kind, and I make sure that I portray that. Lifestyle builds relatability, and relatability builds trust. Trust then builds money. I really want to emphasize that sexual content is a bonus. It is not the foundation. You want to tease instead of force, implied sexual instead of explicit sexual. Your energy will always win over nudity, I promise you. Seduction is way more powerful than exposure. Why do you think men, are more attracted? Well, I won't say all men, but why do you think a man is attracted to the thought of chasing a woman? Playing not hard to get, because that could get really freaking annoying when you're trying to get someone. Not hard to get, but why do you think a man is more attracted to a woman who's not easily accessible to everyone else? It's because you are a diamond. You are a gem. You are the one. Like, you are so irreplaceable. And when you become someone who just exposes their body to promote, you become the majority of us. To be honest, you really do, because not a lot of creators authentically showcase themselves. They just don't. And I feel like we're in a new era, 2026, where this is going to become a lot more popular. There's going to be a lot more unfiltering. There's going to be a lot less editing, and a lot more creators stepping up and showing their lifestyle, which will lead to views to go to their content. Like I said, seduction is way more powerful than exposure. So building up to it and not giving it all to them at once is what leads them to the key, what leads them to rewarding them with nudity or the more intimate part of you, whatever you put behind a paywall. So let's just wrap this up with how this has changed for me. Like I said, it has changed so much, not only financially, but my happiness, my ability, and my willingness to show up daily as a creator and get stuff done. When I stopped forcing content, I started to enjoy it. When my content changed, my life changed. My results stabilized. I didn't have a random spike from a thirst trap and then go back down. I have a pretty stable income right now. Yes, it fluctuates, but I can boldly say that my lowest weeks right now are $9,000. My lowest weeks before used to be $2,000 to $3,000. My renew systems have improved so much more when my personality is driven and the key to my brand. My burnout has decreased so much because I'm going to live day to day regardless, so I might as well document it. I'm not trying too hard. I'm scaled, I'm surviving burnout, I built systems, and I'm building longevity. So let's just reiterate, you do not have to become someone else to succeed. You do not have to show your body and, sexualize yourself in order to get a male's attention or a female's attention. Your personality is your biggest asset, and the more aligned you are, the easier the money becomes. The moment I stopped trying to be the sexiest creator in the room, I started being myself. My income became more stable, easier, and just way more enjoyable. And if you haven't already experienced this, I cannot wait for you to experience this. It makes content creation so much more fun. I genuinely believe there are people out there who force content creation and force themselves to do this. And then there are people out there who were just born to be a content creator. Like your favorite creators, think about them, like your YouTubers that you watch, your day in the lives, the vlogs. Those people that you watch and love so much, you don't just love them for their body and their looks. You love them because you relate to their day-to-day routines. You love them because they are real, they are authentic. They're not trying to over-sexualize or show you anything that's sexual. They're just going about their day-to-day life and bringing you along with it. So I highly, highly recommend and guarantee that if you start being that person, you start showcasing your life, people will love you for you, and then they're going to want to see your intimate side. And that's how it should work, in my opinion. They shouldn't see intimate and then go to intimate, because if you give everything at once, like, what are they upgrading to? You know what I mean? So I hope this video helped. I hope it inspired you guys to really truly search deeper within yourself and to be the creator that you want to be. I hope that, this gave you encouragement to not feel forced to be over sexual or to show your body off when you don't want to make yourself feel uncomfortable. You don't have to do that. All you have to do is simply be yourself, because you are absolutely amazing. And I promise, no matter who you are, no matter what niche you are, there are people out there who want to see you. So keep it up. Be yourself. I promise you, people will love it. I hope you guys have a great day. And until next episode, we'll see you later. Like I said, check out my socials, and hopefully we talk soon on my coaching page. Bye, guys.